Mr. Oscar Garcia, and good evening. Thank you so much for granting us Cambodianess. The opportunity for the interview today is in SIEM REAP city. And Mr. Oscar Garcia, you are, the founder and also the Chief Empowerment Officer of Apira Consulting from Silicon Valley in the USA. And this is your first time in Cambodia, as I was told.
Yes.
And your job, and maybe your mission, to be precise, this 1 week mission in Phnom Penh and SIEM REAP, is to understand AI technology in fostering economic development, especially in Cambodia, sir. So as I have been informed, until today you have spent nearly a week in Cambodia. And for our audiences to get a glimpse of what you have done, can you give us a brief summary of what you have done so far, sir, between stakeholders in Cambodia?
Yes. So first of all, thank you so much for the invitation to be here. I have fallen in love with Cambodia. It's my first time being in Cambodia. Mm-hmm. And it's been a very, very productive, very active week, thanks to the U.S. Embassy here in Cambodia. You know, this is the 75th anniversary of relationships between our country and Cambodia, the U.S. and Cambodia. And they have brought me here to conduct both AI workshops to college students, business professionals, government officials, entrepreneurs, and also to meet with a variety of different groups, whether it's Your Highness from the Department of Ministry of Education, the other different student groups and organizations. And really, the goal is, as you mentioned earlier, to help foster that economic growth, that economic development with one of the most powerful tools that is out there right now, and that is AI, artificial intelligence.
So AI is a hot thing right there in Silicon Valley because many tech companies are over there.
Yes, it is huge. It is huge. And, I was around back when the first dot-com boom.
Dot-com boom.
Yes.
Early 2000 or something.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Because I actually worked for the tech industry for startups for 12 years. And I remember in the early 2000s, every new company that was being created, it was called something. So e-baby, e-toys, e-chocolates, whatever, because of e-commerce, right? Purchasing online and so forth. But I will tell you that what happened in the early 2000s to what is happening today does not compare, because think about this. 4 years ago, we were hardly speaking about AI. And now I'm in Cambodia speaking about AI, let alone what other people are doing around the world.
I see, Mr. Garcia. So to begin with the topic about AI, what you are discussing right now in Cambodia. So again, AI right now, not only in Cambodia, but also around the world, people have a mixed feeling about that.
Yes.
Some people say it is a very concerning technology because it is mimicking human behavior, mimicking human mind.
Yes.
But some people said, okay, because it can mimic human mind, it is actually a revolutionary technology.
Yes.
In general, every technology has its good and bad side.
Yes.
For you specifically, sir, how do you balance between each end of the spectrum?
Yes. Well, and this concern, as you said, it's very legitimate. It is a concern that throughout civilization, in our human development, we've experienced it. I just want to take you back to, I certainly wasn't around, and I know you weren't, none of us were around, but when Ford invented the Model T, there were just dirt roads, horses, donkey, whatever, right? Pulling, right? Animals that were pulling things. And then all of a sudden, can you imagine if we went back in history, people are starting saying, oh my gosh, look at that car. It's disrupting the roads. I can't even, it's going to hit my horse or whatever. I'm sure that those type of things happen. And today, the same thing, right? Concerns are happening. However, as I mentioned earlier, because this change is happening so fast, so explosive, literally around the world, we don't have time to pause. We don't have time to react. And so is there a balance? You know, personally, I don't like the word balance because I don't think it's about balance, but it's rather about identifying what the situation is, the use, and fine-tuning things. For example, because I'm going to have dinner here in a little bit, so I'm thinking about food, okay? But when we're cooking a meal, maybe you don't want salt on your food. And maybe I want a lot of salt. And so if I put a little bit of salt and I taste it, to me it's like, oh, it needs salt. And you're tasting, you're like, oh, it has too much salt.
Okay, it's subjective.
Exactly. But we also fine tune it to the taste of the person if we were a restaurant owner. And so there are situations where, yes, we do, it is being used in not good ways, but also what it's capable can be used for good.
So in general, it is not about balance, like you said, it is about catering to each need.
Yes, catering. That's one of the things that AI is very powerful. This week I shared many times with different groups how, for example, with Facebook, we give Facebook so much personal information. And as a result of that information and other things that it does, Facebook can create very targeted ads. Okay, to where we can get so specific to say, when someone is within a block of this university, I want you to show them the ad for a class. And you and I oftentimes will have our cell phone with location turned on that even just, maybe we're not a student here, but we walk into the university and we look at Facebook and all of a sudden we see that ad. Well, today, AI helps us even further personalize that even more so.
So, for example, how can AI be, let's say, a bit different from, advanced technology? You mean like AI can think on behalf of us, even though we do not intend to think like that? Is it the meaning? It
is. And again, things are changing. So I have seen back in Silicon Valley some examples of, for example, Reid Hoffman, who is one of the co-founders of LinkedIn, which is a professional social media platform, where they created an AI image avatar of him, and he is talking to himself, to that AI, as if it's a real person and having a debate conversation. And that can be scary because like, oh my gosh, because it looks just like him and it's thinking like me and so forth, right? But also think of it for the good that it can be used to as well. And so AI has, again, that power, the ability for us to use it in the right way. One of the challenges that's happening is because, again, it's growing so fast, government can't keep up with regulation.
Policymakers.
We can even policymakers. Let's just say parents. We have teenagers, and as we know, young people are more active on technology than parents and adults, and we can't figure it out how to tell them what to do, when not to. We're learning just like them, but they're learning so much faster. So, again, coming back to what I've said, it's not that AI is good or bad. It's really more the individual on how they are choosing to use it.
I see, sir. But, just like any other previous technology that come out as a boom, AI, forgive me if I'm, I'm a bit, not, I mean, like I was born only more than 20 years ago, so I don't know what really happened before that.
Yes.
For now, AI seems to be a bit scary and also ambiguous because, like you said, it can impersonate a person or talk on behalf of a person. So, just to clarify further, why do you think AI is scary? I mean, why people think of it as something a bit negative these days?
I think first of all, because of the power that is the things that it's able to do.
Flexibility.
The flexibility, I gave you the example of, for example, Reid Hoffman, the co-founder of LinkedIn, or even you and I, the ability, I have my graphic designer over the summer, we were just testing some video creation because I told him I don't have time to constantly be doing video recordings for content for social media.
Yes.
What can we do that's faster, less expensive? So he took a still photo of myself. He went onto our YouTube channel and took a little video clip, 30-second video clip of me speaking, and he created a script, and he combined all those three things into a video, and you see me speaking with my voice, close to my voice. Not gonna say, I can tell it's not my voice,
Yeah.
but if you didn't know me and I sent you that video, you would think it was me speaking, okay?
At first, you were shocked.
Yes, I was,
shocked.
but I was shocked in a good way because I was shocked in a good way in that this is incredible. This is incredible what it can do. And so people, because of that ability to have such quick and such realistic influence and the things that we can do, we're shocked. We've never, humanity has never seen this type of quick and such realistic use of AI, and that shocks us.
Yes, so in summary, in clarification, it depends on the context whether AI is good or not so good, let's say.
It depends on the person.
The person also. Yeah.
I oftentimes hear people say, money is evil. And I'm like, that's not true. Money is neutral. It's the human, it's you and I, humanity, that makes it good or bad. Because if you have bad money, you know what I would tell you? Give me all your bad money. Because I'm going to do something good with your money.
I see.
It's the human.
I see. Yes, Mr. Oscar Garcia, and also jumping to another related topic on AI also, but
Yes.
in education. So, for example, just now you have taught, I think, a hall full of university students.
Yes.
So, you have also met our Minister of Education a few days ago in Phnom Penh. So, what do you think about the AI landscape in Cambodia's education, and normally what should the student, the parents, the educators, the policymakers embrace the influx of AI?
Sure.
Yes.
So I leave here very excited, very hopeful with what your government is looking to do. They are very open to embracing AI. They are very open to trying to figure out what is the best, most effective way to have students, have the future workforce educated to use AI. They see AI as an economic boom, an economic wave that's coming. And of course, partnerships with the US Embassy, other organizations to try to figure out how can we also make it more equitable so that, for example, those that live in rural communities versus those that live in the city can have access to this technology.
But for example, so like more than just, let's say, Googling, it's a word that I use. For example, more than just using AI to search for answers, what else can, the education sector use AI for?
Oh, well, there's many factors. And back home, we work with a lot of colleges and universities as well. But, and I actually, in my trip here, did some workshops on helping design, using AI to help design lesson plans. Lesson plans that are more personalized to students. In a classroom, picture this, okay? In a classroom, we might have 30, 40, 50 students, or back home, and I remember when I was a freshman and I took economics, there were 800 students in that class.
I see.
That's 800 students that have different ways of learning. And speaking for myself, I'm a very visual person. And I didn't do well in economics because my teacher, all she did was talk, lecture.
I see.
And I needed to see things. She said something, and it would have helped me visualize or see some visual to make that connection. Well, today with AI, guess what? The university, the professor, the teacher, they can identify what are the learning patterns of my students in the class, and how can I create a variety of lesson plans that are tailored to each of the students. And without AI, that is a huge task. That takes a lot of time, a lot of money. In fact, hardly anyone would do it. But with AI today, you can learn how to use it. You can learn how to create some of the chatbots, some of the other tools, and be able to create that much effectively, faster, and at a lower cost.
That is for the educator and the teacher, but how about for the general student, for example, primary student or junior high?
Yeah.
Based on what you have discussed, let's say, what are the future, option or maybe potential that they can use at home, at school, for the benefit of their learning?
Yeah, so one is, and this is one of the most popular, I also just recently, about 2 days ago, came across an article about a study that ChatGPT did on how people are using ChatGPT. And one of the top ways that people are doing it is research and learning. In other words, finding information and how to learn things, okay? And so as a student, whether you are in middle school, high school, university, or even elementary, you can start using AI to help enhance your learning experience, to help you with research, to help you with skills that maybe perhaps you're not as strong with or on. Earlier I mentioned how, for me, I'm a learner that sees things. Well, maybe I can use AI to create a summary, an audio summary of the notes from that classroom, so that when my parents are driving me to school, and I know, like, for example, in Penh, traffic is heavy, it's bad. Okay?
2 hours sometimes.
Yes. So imagine if dropping off your child to school takes 30 minutes. Now I can put on my headphones and listen for 30 minutes on that lesson plan to review it.
I see. So those are the small things that AI...
Little small things, yes.
AI can do that already, or is it still, developing, let's say?
It can do that. So, for example, are you familiar with Notebook LM?
I've heard about it, but I'm not really sure.
It is a Google product. And if you have a Gmail account, it's free. I highly encourage anyone to use it, okay? But with Notebook LM, one of the differences between, say, ChatGPT searches the entire internet. Notebook LM only searches what you provided, the information. So the metaphor that I use is the library is like ChatGPT. But when you go to the library and you select 5 books and you take them home, those 5 books, you're only going to look at those 5 books, that Notebook LM. So you can upload sources like PDFs, links to websites, links to YouTube videos, audio files, text files, and you can say, just prompt it. You can say, give me a summary of the key points on these things, okay? You can create an audio recording that sounds like a podcast in multiple languages, okay? It gives you options to where you can say, just give me a summary. You can say, give me a debate on these 5 sources. You can say, give me a deep dive on everything, okay? And now, about 2-3 weeks ago, Google with Notebook LM came out with the feature where it will create a video file. So you visually can see and hear. And as I told you, for me as a visual, I'm in heaven.
Yes, so Mr. Oscar Garcia, but at the same time, when, for example, when I present this idea to, let's say, senior people, people who learn things the traditional way during their time, they say ChatGPT or maybe AI simply make the task a bit easy, too easy for young people. They can get, let's say, accurate information from their notebook, from their lesson, or maybe their online library, something like that. But the senior people, they also want the young people, to, let's say, to put things together by themselves, to read books, to rely on their own intuition.
Yes.
So do you think AI simply make people a bit lazy and they don't do the work anymore? Or is it the opposite?
So It does have the opportunity to make people lazy.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Let's just say, okay. Because we're human. We want the easy way.
Is it worth it then?
Okay. For example, we know that running or going to the gym is healthy for us. Yet some of us never do, and instead we buy a pill to lose weight.
I see.
Because it's easier. In the US, I don't know here, well, I think here in Cambodia you have something similar, but in the US, we can cook food when we come home from work, or we can use DoorDash and have food delivered, and I don't have to cook. You and I know it's cheaper to cook, and it's even healthier for us to cook than to eat outside, okay, at a restaurant or whatnot. Yet we do that. It's because we are creatures of convenience. Now, here's the thing though, okay, with your question about academia and professors or maybe older people that makes students lazy. What I say to them is that I think it's time. What AI is doing, in a way, it's putting a mirror in our face and it's saying, I think it's time that you change how you teach and what you teach. Okay?
I see.
For example, in my own business, we do career and leadership training. My daughter created an AI career coach using our framework. All the information that we teach and so forth, she fed it into this AI career coach tool. We used to spend time helping people create a resume. Creating a resume is very time consuming. But today, with that career coach, it can help someone create a resume much more quickly than we can. But what the career coach and what AI cannot do is teach the student how to interview in person, how to do this.
But do you think it put, for example, genuine human creativity at risk when you let the machine do something for you? Because normally this kind of thing, we value it as personal thing, something that genuinely come out from a person. But if you, for example, let AI create a resume for you, do you think it is something that you're concerned about?
The short answer is no.
No.
And let me go back to the resume. Before AI, there are people that you pay money to help make your resume. In the US. Okay, a professional resume writer. Let's even take it even a step further. Elected officials, when the president reads a speech, the president didn't write it.
Yeah, we just give ideas and then correct something.
They have a copywriter.
Yeah.
Do we ever say to the president or think the president's lazy? They have poor writing skills, poor communication skills. Or the resume writer before AI. That's a business. And no one ever said, Oscar, you paid money for someone to write your resume? No. But see, all of a sudden, AI is replacing what some of these people were doing. And all of a sudden, we're concerned about AI. It's like, we've been doing that.
So this is just a cycle of invention and human reaction to the invention. Yeah.
Yes. It's like going back to my example that I mentioned about people back in the old days in horses or walking. And then they went into cars. And then today we have scooters, motorcycles. And it's just, before cars, now we have scooters. Can you imagine you and I complaining and be like, oh, those scooters? Why are people riding scooters? They should be driving cars. That would be silly, right? But it's normal for us to think that way because, as going back to the very beginning, it's happening so quickly, so fast that we're not prepared. Our mind mentally, we're becoming. It's disrupting. It's making us so uncomfortable that we don't know how to react to it.
Yes, sir. But again, following to the same question, what if we cannot keep up with AI? What are the negative consequences that an education sector may face if they don't adapt quickly enough?
Yeah. So confusion, It could also cause the long term. I'm going to go to one extreme. It could cause for some academic institutions to go out of business.
To go out of business.
Because we can choose, at least I'm speaking in the US because I'm not very familiar in the education system here in Cambodia, okay? But in the US, we can choose, we have public universities and private. And we as a student can choose where we want to go. We don't have to go to this university. We don't have to go to this school. And so what happens is that, for example, in the state of California, we have what's called community colleges, which are 2-year colleges, and then we have universities that are 4 years. So you can first go to a 2-year and then go to the 4 years, but when you're in the 4-year, you just only need 2 more years.
I see.
Okay?
Yeah.
And there are over 116 community colleges in California. We have choices. So what I'm seeing is you have some students that take one class here, another one here, and this college says use AI, and this one says no. And some students are like, I'm going to go here because we're using it personally. We're using it as much as any institution says don't use it, there's problems, we're using it. And the thing is too, for us to understand is who is driving this change? The younger generation. Who is most likely to embrace change? The younger generation. Those of us that are my age and older, we're slower to adapt to change. So the change is coming. And the disruption is coming. But institutions, academic, are trying to figure out what is the best way to use it ethically, morally, and also to be able to continue to enhance education.